Hello, Pine Tree Intermediate. This is our first try at having a virtual faculty meeting. You should have in your boxes, you should have an agenda. You should have one single sheet that is titled let me see here, 10 ways, 10 actions to educate students. And you should also have another one that's titled Reject the Soft Bigotry of Low Expectations. So if you'll pull out your agenda so you can follow along with me, and we can get through this faculty meeting wherever you might be on this Thursday or on the weekend, whenever you have time to listen to our agenda. The first thing on our agenda is the role of the school nurse. And remember that our school nurse is here to administer meds and provide support to our students that are injured. She does talk to kids about personal hygiene and provide them with some deodorant on occasion and some things like that. She is CPI trained, so she can help us in an emergency situation here in the front office, but at no time is she to be involved with discipline or discipline problems or inappropriate behavior that a student may have demonstrated in a classroom. So this has happened a couple times for us this year already, so I wanted to address it to you as the entire faculty as to exactly what she does. She cannot be put in a disciplinary situation for us and still be an effective nurse. Number 2 on our agenda is lesson plans. Please make sure that you email those to me only. I need you to email plans. I can't have any more in my box. I've got tons of paper copies, so I'm already starting to feel a file get real thick, so I want to keep our lesson plans electronically. So please just send them. If you have been putting a copy in my box, please send them to me electronically only. Remember that they are due Monday morning before the week starts, so I should have those in my email queue before each Monday morning. Item number 3 on our agenda has to do with Keep Longview Beautiful. That's going to be the week of November 4th to 8th. If the weather is really good on November the 8th, our grade 3 students will walk over to Lear Park and pick up trash in honor of keeping Longview beautiful. November 9th is the actual day in Longview that they need volunteers to help clean up and pick up those types of things. So we will get that arranged for you. I thought it was appropriate for grade 3 because of their study on communities. So I expect us to kind of address that in our lesson plans as we talk about communities with our students. Item number 4 talks about funding repayments. There are 2 things that we could have possible repayments. The first is that we may have to pay some money back because teachers are giving out foods of minimal nutrition, and that's a violation of state law, and so state and federal law, as a matter of fact. And so they can take some of our free and reduced money that we have for children in poverty and take it back and not allow us to spend it. So make sure that if you are giving out any food that is on that list, that it is done at 3:30. We have to do it at 3:30. You cannot give it to students and say, okay, don't eat this until 3:30. We all know what's going to happen with that. So make sure that we take care of that, and we want to make sure that we have our attendance in at 9:50. If we ever were audited, we could lose average daily attendance money from the state because some of you were not getting attendance in. I think the other day I was watching and they were collecting attendance at 1:30 in the afternoon because people had not turned it in. So we have to get that attendance done. Hopefully I have some sort of strange bell, or we may have to work on a different type of bell that goes off at 9:50. So I know most of you are getting attendance done with your cell phones, and so I sure do appreciate that. Okay, I want to skip to number 6, which talks about RTI and our data sheet. I want you to make sure that you understand that kids that are on Tier 3 reading level must have a running record each 3 weeks. That's minimum. If they're progressing faster than that, then go ahead and change the running record on the data sheet. But all of our Tier 3 kids that are in reading need to have a running record done every 3 weeks at a minimum. You need to use your Journey's textbook edition that you use for guided reading. Just use those. Those will work very well to get a running record. And remember, all of our students are going to have a running record at the end of the 6 weeks. So you should know that. That should not be any added work on you. You should be doing those as you go through guided reading. We should be getting new levels on kids. So that will take care of our Tier 2 kids, because I know they will have a new running record at the end of each 6 weeks. Both Tier 2 and Tier 3 students should be logging into iStation and going through iSIP at the very beginning of each month. This is how we're progress monitoring those kids. Math students will use their Dreambox data and common assessments for Tier 3, and Tier 2 will use their common assessments only. So Tier 2 students should be on Think Through Math at least 2 times per week for 30 minutes. That can be part of one of their workstations that they can do. So hopefully that clears up Tier 2 and Tier 3 progress monitoring and the use of our running records. All right, you have 2 articles that are with you. I want you to read this first article. It says Reject the Soft Bigotry of Low Expectations by Tom Manny. I want you to read this article because it deals with students from low-income homes and our expectations. We know that socioeconomics of a child does matter, but there are 32 other things that have a great influence. Almost all of those 32 things are within the control of teachers. We cannot control whether or not a kid comes to us from poverty, but we can control the other factors that may be influencing. So I want you to read the entire article, but I want you to pay particular attention to page 9, which is the second page, and look at that first paragraph and look at what they've written about effective schools working with students to teach them how they can overcome any obstacle. And I think that's just an important lesson that we teach our kids, that they can achieve whatever they want. And that there will be obstacles that will be thrown out there in front of them. There's going to be passages that are going to be thrown in front of them. There's going to be math problems that are going to be thrown in front of them that they may not know exactly how to do. But they've got to have the strategies and they've got to have the confidence to believe that they can overcome any obstacle. The other thing that I want you to notice on this page is the idea that we can teach kids to have a growth mindset. And I guess I really never thought about that. About how to teach that so that they start looking at how much they grow and quit worrying about trying to pass or fail and try to get a growth mindset going with our kids so that they can see improvement that will result in kids that are more persistent, that will take on a challenge and can learn from mistakes. Now, think about the power if we can teach kids those 3 things, that they become persistent, that they take on a challenge, and that they learn from their mistakes. I really think that's 3 good things that we can teach all kids. So read this article. I know you say you don't have time to read the article, but it's 2 pages, ladies. I think, and gentlemen, I think we can make that happen. The second one is a single sheet, and it's what I got from the Ruby Payne conference that I went to, the poverty conference that I went to at Mod Cobb. And it tells us why we use specific strategies. I've heard Ruby Payne speak for almost 6 times. This is my 6th time to hear her speak, and I've never seen this in this format. So every time I go, I get something new. So if we look at number 5, for example, we have to, and I guess sometimes I just don't think about what we do, to teach abstract processes. We teach them the what and the why. Sometimes I'm not sure we teach them exactly how to attack some of those things. Some of you do, but I don't know that it's across our campus, that everyone understands that we're working on the how. We all know about the mental models, how important mental models are. Number 7 talks about how to teach kids to plan so that we can control some of that off-task behavior that we see and we can get some tasks completed. And then the last one that I want you to look at is, I don't know that we teach kids how to ask questions. I don't know that I've ever been taught how to ask questions. And it was interesting that she said the reason that you do that is so that students can get past the 3rd grade reading level. And it says so that they can get inside their head and know what they know and what they don't know. So that was an interesting concept to me about asking questions. And if you think about it, a lot of our brighter kids know what questions to ask, but our kids that struggle don't always even know how to ask questions. So I'm not sure that we've done this. This is just a couple of things to kind of give us some new ideas, some new things as we go through October. We know how tough October can be. With that said, under miscellaneous, the only thing I have left is that on October the 25th, we will have our Fat Friday with a tailgate theme. This is homecoming week, and we'll be playing Marshall that night, so we will have a homecoming theme with a tailgate. And I don't know what that's going to look like as far as food that day on Fat Friday, but I know we'll have great fun, and I think we can get things done. If you have any questions about this agenda, or you have anything that you think that we need to go over further, please just send me an email and we'll get it taken care of. And we hope to see you on the 21st. Remember, on the 21st, we have several teachers going to training in Hallsville along with Shannon. So, as I said, I can hardly wait to be here every day with 6 substitutes, but we will get through that day. So make sure that you help me on that day, and we'll get through Monday the 21st. Hope you have a great weekend, and if you get time, go over to Upshur County, and this is Jamboree weekend. It's a totally different culture there. So anyway, you guys have fun this weekend. Come back to us safe.